You meet a guy, you like him, you fancy the pants off him, you see a lot of things in him that you're attracted to, you get obsessed with him, you sleep together, and then he starts pulling back or he ghosts you, and you don't know what you've done wrong, but you're filled with regret, shame, and insecurity. Or he doesn't ghost you, but you get extremely attached very quickly, and you slowly start feeling him pulling away. You feel like you can't get him off of your mind. What is going on here? And maybe you already know that ideally it's better to wait until you sleep with the guy. Maybe you told yourself this 100 times. And yet the moment a man you like shows interest, something takes over and suddenly all of your rules go out of the window. And it doesn't mean that you have to have rules necessarily. It's just that you are doing something that is making your anxious attachment 10 times worse. And today I'm going to explain exactly what's happening that is causing all of this. Welcome back to A Mind Like Mine. If you're new here, my name is Antia Spiteri. I'm a self-worth coach and a somatic therapist. I've been helping women build their self-worth for the last 6 years, and I help women heal their anxious attachment so that they can stop abandoning themselves in relationships and show up as the most secure, confident, calm, and grounded version of themselves, even when they date or are in a relationship with someone they like or they love. Today, you and I need to have a very real conversation, okay? So open up your eardrums, because I truly believe that this is not spoken about enough. Because nowadays we live in a hookup culture where everyone just sleeps with everyone. And I'm not here to shame. I've also been part of the hookup culture in the past. But as much as it's liberating to remove shame in this area, it's also important to see the dangerous and dark side of sleeping with a man too early, especially if you want to build something serious with someone. Because if you just want to sleep around and have fun, that's up to you. Do whatever you want. But if you end up anxiously attached and if you always want something more and you feel the man pulling away, we need to protect your anxious heart and not do things that will make it 10 times harder to not get attached. So let's talk about sex, attachment, and the nervous system. So let me paint you a picture, and you tell me if this sounds familiar. You meet a guy, there is chemistry, he's charming, he's attentive, he makes you feel wanted, he makes you feel desired, things are moving fast, it feels exciting, and you sleep with him. Maybe after a few dates, maybe sooner, and at that moment it feels like a connection. It feels like you're getting closer, and then something shifts. He texts a little less. Maybe he becomes a little bit more casual with you. Maybe he doesn't bring up seeing you again and he doesn't plan another date with you, and he leaves you hanging. And suddenly you're completely consumed. You're checking your phone every 10 minutes or 2. I remember I used to be hooked to my phone, for example, and many of my clients struggle with the same thing. You're replaying every conversation in your head. You're wondering if you said something wrong, did something wrong, were too much or not good enough for him. And the awful part is that you were completely fine before all of this happened. And now you feel like your entire sense of self depends on him. It's almost like your happiness, your excitement, your safety only comes from him, and you're constantly seeking it. That, my love, is anxious attachment. And early sex is one of the fastest way to activate it. Again, this is not to shame you. I am not perfect. I've done this mistake before, okay? And even if you do it again, you don't get to shame yourself. That's not going to get you anywhere. But we need to learn to discern who comes into our energy, who has access to us and our body, because otherwise we get attached and bonded before we even get to know the person. And that leaves us more anxious. So what actually happens in your body? Here's what many people don't talk about, especially on this subject. When you sleep with a guy, your body as a woman releases a hormone called oxytocin, which is the love hormone, the bonding hormone, and it does exactly what it sounds like. It bonds you to that person. And this is the way we bond as women. Men are different, and I will explain. So this creates a feeling of attachment, closeness, and emotional connection. Now here's the issue, that oxytocin doesn't care if he's a good man for you, if he's a compatible partner, or if he likes you or wants you in the first place. Your body has already decided that you're attached. Now, when you're anxiously attached, there's already that void within that we're seeking a partner to fill that void, which is unrealistic. Now, when we're sleeping with a guy, because of the oxytocin, it's a double whammy. And now your nervous system will do anything in its power to protect that bond. So now when he takes a step back, because you are more emotionally invested into him, it's not only that you feel disappointed maybe when he's not investing as much as you or as much as you want him, it becomes a threat to your nervous system. Our nervous system's job is to detect safety and danger. And this brings up the feeling of danger and unsafety within your entire system. And that is when you start feeling anxious, you start maybe becoming impulsive or people-pleasing, when you start sending the long texts, when you start thinking about him 24/7, when you stop eating or start overeating and binging, when you start leaving your weekends or days off just in case he asks you out and end up in bed crying because he didn't. Your heart starts racing, you have the sick feeling in your stomach and in your throat. And this is not you being dramatic, my love. This is your body trying to survive because it is linking safety and survival with this guy. And if you're anxiously attached, you are already wired for this, to expect abandonment and rejection. But sleeping with him earlier on just pulls the trigger much more intensely and faster. And that is why it is healthier to wait until the guy also gets emotionally bonded with you. And earlier I mentioned that men bond differently. So us as women, we bond through oxytocin. That is why when we have sex, we become more needy, more clingy, and more emotionally connected and invested. Have you noticed that usually men, they're not impacted in the same way? And this is because men tend to bond through vasopressin, which is linked to protection, how much a man invests. I'm not talking about investing in money, how much time and effort he invests. That is why oftentimes men are more fulfilled by that chase and pursuing a woman. So a man usually will value you more the more he works to get you and to keep you. And it doesn't mean you have to push him away or play hard to get or, play games. But this just means that if you wait long enough before you sleep with him, and long enough, I will tell you the timeline, what I think would be the most ideal. But if you wait long enough to sleep with him, he most likely would have already connected with you on an emotional level, not just physical and mental. Therefore, he has care and emotions for you already, and he's much less likely to use you just for sex. Now, as far as timeline goes, I wouldn't say, oh, wait 3 months or wait this much or wait this much. Some people wait until marriage. But I would say at least give it between 1 month to 3 months so that you truly get to know each other first, so that he keeps on meeting you and talking to you, not just because he's gonna get sex out of it, but he's thinking more long-term with you. And of course, it does make a difference how close you get and how quickly you get close. And I'm not talking about love bombing, okay? Love bombing is something else. But if he is consistency is key here, always, not up and down, not hot and cold. That is usually more love bombing, or full force and then whoosh, they disappear. That's love bombing. When a man is consistently talking to you, asking you to meet up a few times a week, versus if you meet once every 2 weeks and you don't talk often, that of course makes a difference in how close you get emotionally before it would be ideal to sleep with someone. And the number one thing for us as women, it's important that you feel safe with a man. And if you think of this as your measurement, do I feel safe with this man? And not right now. Has he showed me through his actions, not just his words, that he is a safe person and that he will care for me, he will care for my feelings, he will care for my well-being. He doesn't just care about himself or what he gets from me. Is he emotionally invested in me? And be careful, ladies, because in the beginning, before men get sex from a woman, sometimes they will make more effort, so that they get you to sleep with him. Because nowadays, some men are strategic and some men don't do this intentionally, but some men do it intentionally. Unfortunately, this is why it's important to delay. And even if you give bits here and there and you flirt and maybe some things happen between you and you're giving him a bit of a taste of what it would be like later on, but it's important especially to see the ratio. Is the percentage of our interaction, our connection, how much of it is just flirty, just sexual, just surface level banter. That will give you a better idea of if a man is looking at you long term. And the number one thing that is so important is that when we do something like this, we don't do it from a place of, oh, I'm going to hold back so that he doesn't leave me. Yes, of course, you desire to keep on seeing this guy. You would want that that would be the outcome. But we can't do it from a place of trying to get approval. We need to do it from a place of, I am discerning and protective over who I let in. And the man needs to prove himself that he is safe, that he is consistent, that he will show up for me before he will have the privilege to get there. Not because you will be prude or big-headed, but because sex is sacred when we're doing it with someone that we're already emotionally bonded to. And it's important to treat it as such. And when you wait and delay, you actually get to know him before your body's hormonally convinced that he's the love of your life. You get to see how interested he is when you don't give him the thing that he would want from the get-go. Because of course, men would want sex. It's enjoyable, it's fun. Why wouldn't they want it? Even we want it, it's enjoyable, it's fun. But because of the testosterone, men are more prone to seek that. And they don't bond through it the way that we do. So therefore, usually when we do it quickly, we are the ones that get hurt because we get attached. Now, this is not black and white, 100% to 100%. Of course, some cases can be different, but overall, this is what it usually looks like. And this waiting also gets to show you if the guy is still interested in you, even though he's not getting the thing from you that maybe he wants the most right now. You get to see if he respects and protects your pace instead of trying to push against it. And you get to build that emotional intimacy as well as that physical connection afterwards that creates a solid foundation that is not just chemistry and hormones and just being horny. And oftentimes you will see men be very excited in the beginning. They will tell you all the things you want to hear. They will give you all the things you want to get. And then once they do the deed, they start retracting. Because oftentimes when men are horny and they are flooded with testosterone, their judgment is clouded. So therefore, once they do have sex and release, they realize, oh, actually, I don't like her as much. While us as women, our judgment gets cloudy once we have sex, because then we're bonded. And then before we're like, oh, I'm not sure if I like him. Oh, I actually like him. After we have sex. And he starts pulling away because he has more clarity now, and our judgment is more foggy because we are more connected and bonded to him. And we start leaning in, and he starts pushing back, which is no good. And the most important thing, you get to learn how to choose yourself. You get to sit with that fear of abandonment or fear of him not wanting to continue seeing you because of it. And you get to grow and heal from that instead of always conforming to that and then feeling used at the end or disposed or not chosen. And my love, this is the beginning of starting to form a secure attachment. Now, I want to get honest here. It's not going to be easy not sleeping with him when you're attracted to him, when you feel that chemistry, when you think he's hot, when he's treating you right. I know us women have needs too. And even more so, if you have ADHD, like myself, it would be even harder because we seek that novelty, that excitement, that intensity. We seek that dopamine. We're usually more sexual by nature. So it's not easy, and I'm not going to pretend like it is. But once you see this, you cannot unsee it. And oftentimes, when you let that wave of hormones pass without acting on it, you get to be more grounded and in control of your emotions and your urges and your impulsivity. And you get to really see if you actually like this guy. And if you're scared that he will lose interest if you don't sleep with him, I want you to ask yourself one thing. Why does the idea of losing him feel so unbearable? Would it feel worse for him to walk out right now? Or would it feel worse if you do sleep with him and then he walks out? Because I know that oftentimes we are filled with shame, regret, guilt when the latter happens. And truly, if a man loses interest just because you don't give it away quickly, first of all, most probably he doesn't want something serious in the first place, or he doesn't want something serious with you. So he would not have been the person that would want to build something with you long term. If he's impatient with this, most probably he just wants something quick. something to satisfy him in the moment. So in that case, you've also dodged a bullet. And don't be hard on yourself, my love. Even if you do this over and over and over again, don't be hard on yourself. Don't shame yourself, because that's not going to help. Why? Because the anxiously attached woman struggles to wait, not because she lacks discipline, but because deep down she doesn't fully believe that she will be chosen or that she is enough, without proving her worth, without overgiving, without people pleasing. So oftentimes the difficulty is that we don't see things clearly, so we need to start seeing this. Who were the men maybe in your past that have used you for sex, even if you justified it in other ways? It didn't work out, he was moving somewhere else, whatever it is. But it's important that you get really honest with yourself, which is hard. It's not easy, I know, but it's important to acknowledge from maybe your past experiences when this has showed up, whether you slept with the guy or not, to see if that was the only intention in the first place for them. And believe me, my love, I'm no stranger to this, okay? I'm not perfect. I've done this many times in the past. And I am at a point where I'm almost 1 year celibate, and it doesn't mean that I will never sleep with a man again, of course. But I made a promise to myself that I will not until I meet someone that truly cares for me and shows up for me in the way that I need. So oftentimes it's not just willpower, it's everything to do with the wound, the trauma, and the pain underneath it. And that's the work that we really need to do and focus on, which is the deeper healing. And if this video resonated in any way, shape, or form, and you're starting to see how deep this pattern is, I want you to know that this is healable. Both the anxious attachment, maybe you lose yourself quickly when dating or in a relationship, maybe you don't know how to not people please or try to earn love or prove your worth, whether it's through sex or other things. All of this can be workable. And if you want to start working on this, I am soon releasing a masterclass that will help you to start doing that. This masterclass is completely for free, and it will truly open your eyes and help you move through these patterns. If you want to be one of the first women that knows when this free masterclass is out, make sure to click on the link in the description, sign up to that link, and you will receive a notification in your email when the masterclass is released. I look forward to seeing how this will help you. And if this video resonated with you, make sure to subscribe to A Mind Like Mine, where you get to understand yourself deeply. Thank you for being here and sending you much love.